What's up, Buck Doubledini in the garage? We have an interesting spin on an old idea tonight. Eric and I recently took a long drive together and we were thinking of different ideas for videos, and as a creator there's always the option of just going onto Amazon, buying the cheapest whatever. I bought the cheapest nose hair trimmer, I bought the cheapest whatever, and then you make fun of it for 11 minutes and boom, there you go, you got a video. It's low-hanging fruit. We wanted to do a spin on that in a different direction. How much good can you get out of Amazon for a relatively low amount of money? So we posed this question to each other. If you had $150, what would you purchase off Amazon to build the most complete and comprehensive basic mechanics tool set? And so we each took that idea and ran with it, and interestingly we ran in very different directions. You'd think there's only so many fish in the sea, everybody's going to come up with about the same answer, but having talked to a few people about this and having a few of our other friends do the experiment, the results are really very interesting, and it comes down to, I guess every mechanic really has a every driveway monkey, and from driveway monkeys to professional technicians, have their own style and their own way of doing things. So to get to the point, I did it. Eric and I each took $150. We built what we consider to be the best of the tools available on Amazon to build the most comprehensive basic mechanics tool set. Without further ado, we're going to go through mine right now, and in a video, it's going to be live in a few days, we're going to go through Eric's. Now to get started, there's a theme along with my tool bag. The idea here is I wanted to try to build a solid foundation. My dad taught me you buy the best tool you can at the time, it'll take care of it, you'll probably have that tool the rest of your life. That's what I went with here. You don't have the most tools in here, but you have some high quality tools. That's what I was looking for. A tool that's going to last somebody a lifetime. Starting with, can't have a toolbox without a toolbox. I'm not a fan of toolboxes. I like tool bags. Now ARCAN is actually, yes, I think they're a Chinese company. This all smells like mainland communism, but they are a good company as far as buying on Amazon and buying online. This is a good bag. These bags are never going to last you a lifetime. At some point they're going to wear out. So you just try to find one with a good zipper and features you like. In my experience, 16 inches is the sweet spot. Anything bigger and they get too heavy, anything smaller and you can't put stuff like breaker bars in there. This one has an amazing little feature. These side handles. I absolutely love these side handles. So when it gets really heavy, you're trucking it through the yard, you don't have to rely on this, right? So that was tool number one, 9 more to go. Now we can keep a running tally if you want, but I'm going to tell you right now, I went over budget by $2.41. That's right, I spent $152.41. 16 of it went to this bag, $16 even. $14.55 went to the next tool, my personal favorite, the most important tool you can have, your BFH. Now I'm not going to lie to you, this TEKTON 16-ounce ball peen hammer is not quite a BFH, it's more of a, it's just an FH. It's just a freaking hammer, not a big freaking hammer. If money were no object, I probably would have gone with the 24-ounce. But either way, TEKTON makes a real solid product for the price. You got a fiberglass handle, which I like because then you can use it to smack your wrenches and break nuts loose, which I know nobody approves of, but I've never had a problem. So TEKTON 16-ounce hammer. The second tool, the first one being the bag, to round out our ultimate Amazon beginner's basic mechanics tool set. Now sadly you're not going to get very far down the road with auto repair wielding nothing but a ball peen hammer. The next logical step is a socket set. Now I agonized over this because I wanted a quality set. They sell a lot of no-name Chinesium sets, but they don't fit. The sizes are off, the fitment is terrible. The other side of the spectrum, I could have got a 120-piece DeWalt set that came with everything I needed and plus some, but that's going to eat up most of my budget. So I worked very hard to find this set with a good name and some good features, believe it or not, made by Crescent. That's right, I know you don't think of Crescent as being the type of company that makes socket sets, but they make all kinds of tools. This one was perfect. It's got metric and it's got standard. It's a 3/8 drive, which is a good all-around drive. One little extension there. The big kicker for me was the range of size of sockets. It goes all the way from 9 to 19 on the metric side and 5/16 up to 13/16 on the standard side. That is a pretty good range. It's really hard to find that range in a socket set that doesn't have 1/4 inch and 3/8, and then you end up paying for more because you're doing redundancy. So believe it or not, we went with Crescent. I read reviews on everything I picked for this kit because most of these tools I've never owned this set, but the reviews were all outstanding on everything that I chose. So here you go, socket set down. Now that socket set coming in at $25.99, we are already over 1/3 of our budget. So let's go to some more low dollar items. The next thing we had to have, pliers. Now of course the immediate answer that comes to my mind anyway is chuck a vice grip in there and be done with it. Now there was two big problems with vice grip that I couldn't do that. One, it doesn't have a wire cutter. You need some way to cut wire in a basic mechanics tool set, and I didn't want to have to put in a dedicated side cutter or something like that. And the two is the bigger problem. The vice grip is a finisher's tool, right? That's the last resort. You can plant daisies with an excavator, but at the end of the day, is the garden really going to look that good? Or does anybody commend you on your work? So what we did is this. It's a two-part solution. What you have here are some Channellock. Great American name, still made in the United States, just your most basic 6.5-inch pliers. These are the kind of pliers that you'll have for the rest of your life, assuming you don't lose the darn things. And then over here, you need a second option. When those fail, some big 8-inch needle nose Irwin, great name, big beefy handle. These are some solid pliers, and got a pretty good size diagonal cutter in there. So now you can cut wire, you can even strip wire with those. Those will take care of your pliers. The point of this kit, if you recall, was to build a sturdy foundation. That means this is your foundation. Go from here and fill out your kit, and one of the first things you're probably going to want to buy is a vice grip, but you got to start with the basics. These come in right at $10 even and $14.98 on the old Amazon. Now, along with pliers, there's one more tool that every single toolbox, regardless of the owner, be it an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, a basket weaver, or a dirty driveway monkey, is gonna have to have. That's screwdrivers, of course, right? Now you can go, and I think they had about a 40-piece set for $25. You can't beat that. And hey, congratulations. You've got 40 screwdrivers now. You're the king of the screwdrivers. The problem is, you're going to use like 3 of those screwdrivers for screwdrivers. The rest of them are going to be used for center punches, leather awls, scrapers, pry bars, cold chisels, anything but a screwdriver. So go ahead and just do the reasonable thing. Get yourself a set of 4 screwdrivers. Get the CRAFTSMAN ones. I know, they're CRAFTSMAN. I'm holding them upside down. That's how worked up I am about it. Full lifetime warranty, so when you snap this thing off trying to pry an alternator out, you can take it to Lowe's and they will give you a new CRAFTSMAN screwdriver. This weighed in at $9.98. You just can't beat that. You got your teeny tiny guy for adjusting carburetors. These are the 2 sizes of Phillips you're going to use, and then this guy for prying and everything else. Additionally, you get this little guy, which looks useless, I know. If you own a WJ, I'll tell you right now what I use this one for all the time. The cladding, there's a screw on the back cladding that if you want to take that piece off, you have to get to. So if you don't want to have to take the tire off, little bent screwdriver guy. There we go, screwdrivers down. Now I mentioned how most of your screwdrivers are just going to end up getting used as a pry bar anyway, right? Well, save yourself the trouble of that. This was a controversial item for me. I put it in, I took it out, my cart on Amazon several times thinking, you don't really need that. But you know what? Treat yourself. This is a good tool for anybody, especially beginner, to have. What you have here is a Mayhew, another good name. They make cold chisels, center punches, stuff like this. 14-inch pry bar and a lining tool. I was talking to Dave Random up there in Man I Told You Canada, and he told me they call this a pinch bar up there. I've never heard that term, but wonderful little tool. I know you're thinking, you're looking at your screen going, dude, in a basic tool set, you think you need that? Yeah, I do. For a mechanic, think about prying an alternator out. Think about trying to get a stubborn brake caliper off. Think about aligning a Dana 30 control arm with a slightly bent bracket. This little guy, a deal at any price, but a steal at just $14.55. It's really weird how like several different items came out to be $14.55. I didn't plan that. I don't know what's up with that. If you're interested, there'll be links to all this stuff obviously down below. If anything catches your eye, again, I vigorously or rigorously, I don't know, read reviews across multiple different platforms. Like this one, an untested set by a company that doesn't usually make sockets. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that, but everything here came 5-star rated. Let's move on down the line. There's still more to talk about. All right, this next one took me forever to figure out which direction to go with it. I needed to be able to include Allen keys and Torx bits, stuff you take for granted, but most new cars have some Allen or Torx on them, I think because the manufacturers are trying to dissuade the uninitiated away from ever working on their own car. So we needed to include those. Most of the time, you either get them in, you know, the right angle sets or those little cassettes where they fold out and there's like 15 or 20 different sizes. The problem is you need 3 sets. You need standard Allen, metric Allen, and Torx. And each one of those, whether you get the whole little plastic bag of L brackets or the little cassette, is about $12 to $15. Well, now I'm like looking at almost a third of my budget just on Allen and Torx keys. What's a guy to do? After reading a ton of reviews and hemming and hawing and going a bunch of different directions, I finally decided that my best bet was to spend $16.38 on this little gear wrench, good name, 1/4 inch drive set. It's a very unconventional set, but it did include a number of Torx, a number of Allen keys, and just some normal 1/4 inch sockets, which is nice to have. I wasn't initially going to put any 1/4 inch in. Figured, hey man, you'd start off with the 3/8 and add that down the road, but this was the best option to get me where I was going, and again, super nice to have. This set probably had the best reviews of anything that I picked out in this bag. I couldn't believe it. GEARWRENCH is a good name. They're actually owned by the same company that makes Crescent. But people just absolutely raved about this one. I don't know where all these tools are going to end up. Eric and I are going to do probably a giveaway on some of them. Some of them may sneak into our own collections, but I'm definitely testing this guy out because people absolutely love this guy. We're almost done. We're almost done with my whole $150 spent. Let's get on to the last 2 pieces to this puzzle. All right, now to finish out my Amazon only $150 mechanics basic tool set, you have to have some wrenches. I knew that. I kind of looked into some gear wrench, ratcheting wrenches. That was way too expensive. They do make socket sets, obviously, that include wrenches, but they are way up there in price. And I didn't want to get some total no-name garbage where, you know, they don't have a nice finish, and way more importantly, the actual size of the box end is never quite right on, you know. What I settled on are from a Chinese company, but they're from a reputable Chinese company. I know, it doesn't sound like something that would be real, but there are a few of them out there. SATA is one of them, making some pretty good stuff at an incredibly affordable price. Now, SATA is actually owned by the same company, parent company that owns GEARWRENCH and Crescent. And yes, it's offshore communist BS, but they're not bad wrenches. You can see the fit and finish is pretty nice. I've had the opportunity to use them. The box ends are appropriately sized. What we have here is a metric kit going from 8 to 15 and a standard kit going from 5/16 to 5/8. Ideally, would have liked a little more, but we're just getting started here, and you got the other sizes over there. We're going to recap real quick. What did I get for my $152? Do you all think I got my money's worth? Do you think I made some terrible choices? I want to hear from all of you what you think. This is actually it started as an idea for a video and kind of turned into a little bit of a social experiment, because initially we thought that we'd all kind of be lined up. Eric and I have been working together on cars for 20 years. Our minds are in sync on what tools you need. Not so. He addresses some things with his toolkit. We didn't talk, we didn't converse. We kept our list secret from each other. He addressed some things that I didn't even think about. I never considered in a basic toolkit. And then I did the same. I want to hear from you guys. What from my kit did you like? What would you want to 86? What do you think is an essential that I didn't address? If you like any of these tools, you're interested, like I said, links down below, because they're all from Amazon. They were super easy to get. And I don't think anything took longer than 2 days to get here. This is what I'm looking forward to the most, is the conversation after the fact, because this is what I consider essential. If I had to just put one tool bag in the back of the cart, this is kind of what I'd want. Even though I know there are some things that are missing that other people may consider essential. So that's where it is. Comments down there in the squawk boxes. If you liked the video, like the video. That's just common sense. Subscribe to the channel. I highly recommend you follow us on social media if you have social media. We want to do some giveaways on these tools. Once Eric's video has come out, we're going to try to think what tools we want to do it on and how we want to do it and when we want to do it. Some of them may be Instagram giveaways. Some of them may be live stream giveaways. Some of them may be something else. I don't know. But stay tuned. Like I said, maybe even go check out our brandy new website, monkeywithatoolbox.com, where you can talk to us, you can support us, you can shop us, you can find documents. There's a ton of stuff over there, and we still have plans to put more stuff there. I'm going to stop talking now because I swore I was going to make this a short video, something I have a very hard time doing. So I'll leave you there. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.